fans, back to another edition of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Wednesday night Martin Sports Truck Series. Coming at you live this time from the simulated Phoenix International Raceway, or PIR, or just Phoenix Raceway, however you know this place. One of the fan favorites, at least for me. I really enjoy this track, and I know this is an early season event here, and it also takes place at the very end of the season for all your current NASCAR fans watching. Weather on the track right now, 107 on the track surface, 80 in the skies. So this track is a little bit hot. It's going to be slick, and it's the truck series, so with the ends being a little lighter, should pose for some great racing, Terry over here, which, by the way, to my right-hand side, not usually what you see, but you've seen him here before. Mr. Terry, how's it going, man?
Great to be over here on the Nerd TV, the Nerditudes guys. Yeah, not the voice you're used to hearing on here. I'm normally doing something with the PRL, but this is my favorite racetrack on the sim, other than Gateway, mind you. Couldn't pass the opportunity to come see the Phoenix International Speedway or ISM or PIR. Like there's a lot of names for Phoenix, but did 2 races here this afternoon to get myself ready for this. I tell you what, I feel like I was just as fast as these drivers on the track right here, and I did a lot of that spinning too. That just happened in our background. There's going to be a lot to unpack here, and it's good to be on Nerd TV.
Now, I got to ask you, do you just like oddball tracks? I mean, I love Phoenix too, but Gateway?
Yeah, man. So I suck at 1.5 miles. I don't know why, but
Okay.
if you put me on a short track, I'm good. And what's crazy is somebody was telling me earlier today in the team Discord, they were like, if you're good at short tracks, you must be good at road courses. Hell, I ain't good at road courses either. I'm only good at short tracks. All I understand is how to go fast and then hit the brakes.
Yeah, if the road courses were all left-handers and flat, I guess you'd be okay since you're a Gateway
I would be
fan,
fine.
right?
I would be.
Yeah.
Well, me and Scott Martin from Martin Sports were farming Gateway Week. I know there's about 20,000 people that race oval and race the Gateway weekend on iRacing, and I only know 2 of them that was like, God, let's go back to Gateway. I hope it's the same track layout as last time. There ain't a whole lot of others out there saying that, but me and Scott Martin are looking forward to it because I know we have a shot to win.
Yeah, typically you never count yourself out, and if you got your goal, your mindset, I know you're going to be up there in the front. I want to kick it back over to the session here. We got a couple minutes before qualifying. I want to run down kind of last week. Richie Coy, we saw take the checker flags for the first time in race 3 of schedule 13. This is race 4 now. Ryan Chapman still your points leader by 15 points. Great to see Ryan Chapman have a hell of a season to start here, and he is looking motivated. He sounds like he's in it for this championship. He's going to be your top guy to watch, I would say, for sure. Steen Eng holding second place, 15 points out from Ryan Chapman. And Richie Coy, he gained a bunch of spots. He was back there, like, I think somewhere in the 20s, and now he's sitting 9th place, 27 points back. Still too early. Don't count out Richie Coy.
I like the 27 sponsor right there, the 213 Simware people. Very fun people to follow on Twitter. They communicate back and forth every now with me on funny posts that I'll say or something wild. They're definitely a good follow on Twitter if you're not following them there. But a lot of these drivers out here are getting ready to go. Still got a little bit of practice. Right now is the time that you test your qualifying stat. I don't know if Bobby Terrell did that or not, but the best time so far leading, when we first joined the session, it was Stephen Hollingsworth that was leading with a 27 flat. Bobby went down there and laid a 26.92. So not sure where they got their setups or if they built them themselves. I know I was able to turn. I was able to go 26.5 in qualifying, and I was running like a 27.1 in the old race trim. So be interested to see how this race goes. As Brody Hanna jumps up with a 26.89. Qualifying speed's fierce out here.
Well, for people that have watched our broadcast all of last year and coming into this year, Bobby Terrell has not been a part, or he's been a part of his own team essentially up until this season. He is now the 4th member of Fury Motorsports. Hadn't talked about that much, but he quietly snuck in there. Fury Motorsports did some work over the off season and picked up a really good driver. He was season 2022 A champion. Um, Great pickup. So that's just Fury Motorsports has always been dominant. They've had really good success with in-house setups, some help from some other people sometimes, but mostly it's built in-house at Fury Motorsports. And Bobby Trell is just another addition to help that team build those setups, be fast. And you saw it on the board there before Brian Hoskins comes over and actually no, sorry, my thing changed. Yeah, Bobby Trell, Richie Coy, top two. So two of your top five are going to be Fury Motorsports, but it's qualifying time, Terry. So we're going to go ahead and try to follow along. Bobby Terrell, your practice winner with that 26.915. Let's see what he can do here at qualifying as he's coming to the green flag.
Yeah, the main key about this place is you want to be able to send it in as hard as possible. Believe this is the outlap coming to the green, so as it comes across the stripe, go pinch it all the way down. You start to catch the exit of the pit road. You see the blue streak down there for people that aren't on iRacing and just watching to be a fan. You hit that line there, sweep it down into 1 and 2, which was 3 and 4, now 1 and 2. Get a good run down the front, or the back straightaway now. So confusing. Pitch it all the way down there to the yellow line, into the restart zone, and wash all the way to the wall. I'm surprised that it didn't do that, but that was a really good lap. It's a 26.9, top of the pole for the provisional.
3/1000ths faster than his practice time. I always try to aim for, when I go down through now the front stretch, I always try to aim for the exit pit cone. I got blocked out a couple times in a league race or two from here for tagging that cone, so that's always my target point. But yeah, you messed it up as you just mentioned it. This track is so confusing to people who've watched this place for 15 plus years. Like, this is not the front stretch right here, but it is.
Yeah, it is now. It used to be, I remember that Dale Jr. won the last race on the configuration when the start-finish line was right where we just passed on the back straightaway because pit road was so weird. You don't want to hit the wall right there, as Richie Coy just did. Smacked it, 49 years young. God, so 61 years old, and Richie Coy's 49. Well, back to what I was saying. So Junior won that race because the start-finish line was right here. That's where the start-finish line was, and the rain came as he was on pit road, going past that start-finish line. Called it last timing and scoring loop was there. So we look at Brody Hanna, who potentially, sitting P2. Ooh. That's it. Yeah, that's close.
5/1000 separate those guys. No surprise though, Fury Motorsports they're on a mission this year to try to sweep all the championships as they can with that additional Bobby Terrell. I'm expecting some really good stuff out of this 4 camp. He's already been fast by himself, and you can put him up with these guys. And being P1 now, it took a couple weeks to probably get used to how they run things with the setup, and they got it tweaked for their likings. And this is going to be a hell of a team. Something to watch, especially on Mondays as they progress with that team. Murrow Motorsports basically took over and is continuing to do so, but they're inching closer to the success that Murrow Motorsports has on Monday. But this is Wednesday. Fury Motorsports on it so far through practice and qualifying.
I didn't know that Cody McKinney was down here. That's good. That's an old buddy of mine right there. That's a good dude in that 28 machine. We look at Ryan Chapman. You talked about him being fast, being a championship competitor, and definitely a fierce one on the racetrack in that 27 Ford F-150. Right now, he slots in P10. Lap 2 might be able to pick a little bit up. I think he kind of slipped up in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but paints that yellow line going to the back straightaway. And I'm telling you, I think this is a beautiful, beautiful truck. And you look at the top of the truck cam into 3 and 4 he goes, holds it pretty down there. Get on the gas right there and just set the sucker free. You don't care about the tires. He slowed down by 8/100ths of a second.
Is going to remain in P10 as we got about just under a minute in practice, or qualifying rather, before we go back to for our green flag action. A couple quick shout outs to our sponsors while we're kind of just waiting to kick it over to race session. I'd like to give a shout out to the league that you're watching, Full Throttle Sim Racing. You're going to find them at FTSR.net. Been doing this thing since 2006, so almost 20 years these guys have been running a league. have been run by the same people from the very get-go. So if you're looking to be part of this action where you've seen 30-plus vehicles race every Monday and Wednesday on Nerd TV, head over to FTSR.net. And then Sim Racing Points, your all-inclusive league points management system that allows league admins and owners to completely customize their website and track all the stats necessary. So if you want your league looking top-notch and professional, head over to simracingpoints.com. Also on the chats here, I got YouTube, I got Facebook open. We got Get Player TV saying good luck all in the chats. Civ Chris and yay, it's almost time. He's been in here in the chats before we even went live. So shout out to you guys currently watching and be a part of the action. Comment what you need, what you want, cheer for your team. We have the cheerleading squad every time we do this thing, and we love to see it, love the feedback. So continue to move forward. But Terry, we're time to grid here. We're going to go over the starting lineup here, as iRacing doesn't give us too much time to do this. So we're going to kick it over for Bobby Trail, going to start P1 here. Brody Hanna's going to start second. Sherwood Williford third. Michael Blackner in fourth. Tommy Schaefer in fifth. Cody McKinney sixth. John Gifford's going to start in seventh. Row 4 outside, Richie Coy. Row 5 on the inside, ninth place, Stephen Hollingsworth. And to round out top 10, Ryan Chapman. Terry, who do you have for 11 through 20?
Yeah, we got Tyler Brown, Steve Loomis, TJ Bartell, Justin Dilks in 14th, Kyle Milliken. Yeah, I think we're going to mess that one up a couple times tonight. Joey McKinney, Jeff Breton, Tony Solari. I think I'm going to mess that up too. Brian Bliss, Leonard Stang rounds out to top 20.
Yeah, 21st, we're going to find Timothy Stubblefield. 22nd, Colby Mice. 23rd, Brian Hoskins. 24th, Steve Eng. 25th, Maxwell Solsch. 26th, Douglas Hess. 27th, Joshua O'Connor. 28th place, Josh Mayu. 29th, Shad Curran. 30th, James Torrey. 31st, Rick Webb. 32nd, Nick Goble. And 33rd, to round out to tonight's 33 car or truck lineup, rather, Alan Duranco and Terry. I thought I was going to run that part smoothly, but I guess you tripped me up as well, and I stumbled on a couple names. It's okay. You don't do this with us every week, so completely understood. If you want to, butcher a name or two, and these guys will let you know. Also in the chats on the Facebook side, we got Scott Martin from Martin Sports, the series sponsor for the Wednesday night series, saying good luck to all the competitors. Casey McMullen on the chat saying pretty cool. Terry is in the booth tonight, so Terry, you got a fan shouting out your name out there. Tim Tripler, who is my partner typically. Tim Tripler is actually headed his way to the ER, so that's a good update. Appreciate that, Tim. He had some issues last minute, could not make it, and he's headed his way to the hospital. So send out some wishes, some prayers for Tim Tripler. Hopefully everything's all good. Just a little hiccup in the health, and we will gladly see you next week as these guys are heading down the back straightaway. Heading off into turn 3 to get this thing started. Fury Motorsports going to lead this thing 1-2. And Harry, keep your eye out on this 33, Sherwood Williford. This guy has just gotten better. He usually runs pretty good overall, but this truck has steadily gotten better week in and week out, and he's been a top contender here in this Wednesday night series. But green flag is flying. Bobby Terrell's going to get a great start of his teammate. Quickly, we fanned 3 wide, even 4 wide potentially. And they suck back into, actually going to stay 3 wide here for 2nd through 4. Contact, Brody Hanna already spinning out. Sherwood Williford making heavy contact. Huge wreck here. We got 5, 6, 7 trucks. We got someone in the back up against the outside wall. The one truck, TJ Bartell, a couple others. And it looks like, Bartell with the engine gone, expired, not even 1 lap in.
Well, that's the product of this racing. A lot of people have this issue. Cold tires at Phoenix Raceway and hot track temperatures do not mesh well. We take a look at the Nerd TV replay. What an awesome bit of graphics. Oh my gosh. Lifted the 23 up. The 19 comes in, the 19 comes in, lifts the 33 up. And then you got another truck that's going a little off-road down there as well. Everybody flying through the air. This is the product of this type of racing. If anybody did officials this week so far, you've seen a lot of wrecks happen in the early portion. But once we get single filed out, we get a lap or two under us, we're going to be just fine here. Oh, he just drove in it.
Yeah, I just drove in there late on the braking and the result some contact. Going back and looking at the initial 3 wide entering turn 1, just Brody Hanna, just it looked like from my perspective, he just pinched off the 33 and the 46. I don't know if he realized they were 3 wide. Just came in, closed it up just enough to make that contact, got him loose, and then it got Sherwood loose. He had to correct a little bit, which then he doored the 23, and as you said, he all 4 wheels off the ground like Joey Logano did on Sunday, and then just gets hammered by it looks like the 19 actually, Richie Coy, another Fury Motorsports driver, heavy impact there. So Fury Motorsports out 2 trucks at least at the moment. That's huge, man.
Yeah, it kind of, you see it right here, just the initial turn. Your braking points are different going into the corner. When you're going into turn 1 or going into turn 3, there's very difference of opinion on how you do things. Especially when you go 3 wide, the outside lane very rarely works here. It's not a place you're going to jump up there and go to and just say, "Yep, I'm gonna do it." This isn't Daytona or Talladega, but early on, pushing the envelope isn't the way to go. I mean, we didn't get 1 lap completed before we just decided to go bonsai in there and go 3 wide. That's the product of short track racing is the dirty air, and these trucks tear the right front off. I mean, it just destroys it. So you got to get to the front early.
Yeah, if you guys watched it in the real world at Phoenix, they do go below the yellow line quite frequently in both sets of corners, especially this one that they're going through now, 3 and 4, or 1 and 2. See, I messed it up too. When they do that, you know, of course that creates that space, but you can do it kind of here in the iRacing sim, and guys usually don't like to do that. They like to save their tires a little bit and stay off the flat. So when they go through the corner, maybe Brody was just like, you know what, I got a little bit extra room, and then just closed up. And when they fan out so wide, you know, you can't just calculate if you don't have an active spotter watching every move the guys are making. But Richie Coy still on the pit road. He's going to go multiple laps down as we're going back to green flag action here for the second time. 28 this time. Looks like Cody McKinney is going to try to go real low. He's going to bring it back in quick as we go through turns 1 and 2. Looks like it's going to be a lot more cleaner, a lot more spaced out. They're going to at least make 1 green flag lap attempt here. A couple action spots here midway through the field as they're sorting themselves out for the first green flag lap this evening.
Yeah, we finally complete lap number 1, and a lot of side-by-side racing through the mid-pack. But then you go up front, you see the battle for seconds heated up. That's John Gifford, Stephen Hollingsworth that are fighting each other on the high side and the low side. This is John Gifford. He has the high side. But what graphics work we got here? That was it actually shows us with the highlighted name of who we're talking about. So incredible work as an EPI driver. I will say that EPI setup is really fast. Unless Terry Radford's driving it, then it's really slow.
Well, for someone who's really good here, would probably know that inside and out. But yeah, highlighted name. So if you guys have been watching us and haven't noticed that, they're on the right-hand side column. You're going to see Gifford's name in green. That's highlighting who you're watching. So we are on board the roof camera looking back at the number 99, Stephen Hollingsworth, the 28, Dakota McKinney, and everybody else in the field here as they're going through turns 1 and 2 now, as we're now on lap number 8. Tim Tripler, my usual partner here on Wednesday, saying the truck I painted, R.I.P. Richie. Yeah, that's, you know, first race, our first lap into this race, and it's already done. You know, I hate to see it, but, you know, things happen. It's a short track. You know, you can't predict everything, and these guys have kind of got it spaced out. You're seeing Michael Blackner here, winner of Auto Club, race number 2. He's got some right side damage already on that machine, probably from that first wreck. I didn't see where his contact came from. Maybe he got a brush with the 33 or the 23 when he tried to pass him on the inside. It's most likely where that damage occurred. Great drive here so far this season through 3 races from Michael Blackner with 1 win on the belt. I expect more to come from this guy.
Yeah, just a little bit of damage. I mean, it's easy to catch the walls here, even if you're avoiding a wreck. I did 2 back-to-back today, and I can promise you I caught the wall missing at least 4 wrecks, and I was caught up in 2 of them. Not of my own fruition. I stayed mostly mid-pack, clawing my way to try to get to a top 10 finish. I think I ended up 11th and then 20th in the other, so, or 19th. I ended up finishing in one. So a lot of speed, but not a lot of luck, and you got to have both here in order to win at the Phoenix Raceway at the moment. Is that a Tennessee native back there? I know who my new favorite driver is. That would be Timothy Stubblefield in the number 12. He's up 4 positions from where he started as, the 42 got sideways in front of him, kept it off the wall, but what a save.
42, I believe that's Kyle Milliken. Yeah, he was right there on the inside wall. Did not spin it back up in front of the field. Thankfully, he gets it going, but he's going to lose quite a few positions here to regroup, and hopefully that truck is running fine. Currently backed up to 28th. I guess he's already 2 laps down from that incident, so early on woes from that machine and continues to show up. Speaking of Stubblefield, since you got a new Tennessee native here, he brings along Stub Nation usually, and on the chats right now. Jessica Stubblefield, of course, rooting for Stubbs. You also got Civ Chris saying, let's go Ryan. Also saying, let's go Justin. Diane Chapman saying, good luck Ryan Chapman, of course, your points leader so far through 3 events. And then Zach Waples, if I pronounced your name correctly, you can correct me if I am wrong, saying, let's go Ryan as well. So a couple people out there also cheering for Ryan. He's trying to get his first FTSR Martin Sports Truck Series Championship.
Oh, yawning over here.
Well, good morning.
Well, yeah, good morning. Got the battle still going on back here. That's Ryan Chapman trying to hold off Joshua O'Connor Sr., who is up 19 positions. That's a pretty impressive drive. All of you sitting back there in that 8th place position, just steadily going along. I wonder if that's Waynesville, Indiana, potentially. That'd be a question if he finishes in the top 3. I'd be curious to ask him on what Waynesville is he from, because there's, I think, 5 or 6 of them in the United States. The battle behind him between Cody McKinney and I believe that's Steve Loomis battling on as the 17 looks underneath the 18 position of Joey McKinney. Good side-by-side action back here.
Also in the chat, Sam Squatch Sally saying, good luck Team Pudgy's Pizza. So it became my favorite when I saw a pizza sponsor out here. That's a locally owned shop but not a chain. I love pizza, so anytime you're rocking that kind of sponsor, I'm on your side. And yeah, that's a question for you to save for the 59 for Joshua there if he does make it into the top 3 right now. Currently sitting it out, it's actually Missouri. Our producer Dustin Logston, always there to correct us when we're wrong.
Good stats.
Yeah, he's the stat man. He's the Larry McReynolds of our group right here, just hitting us with the stats when necessary. I know you guys can't hear him, but we appreciate him every single. He's also bringing this awesome camera action that you're seeing here, and every Monday and Wednesday night. He loves the roof camera. I love the roof camera. I wish you could drive off the roof cam, but I know it's a sim, so you can't do that. Not an arcade game, but either ways, this guy knows how to fly a drone at 190 miles an hour too. It's quite impressive.
Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of Waynesvilles out there, whether it's Indiana, Missouri. I think there's one in there's one in the Midwest. There's another one. Here's an up top drone cam of our race leader, Bobby Terrell, holding this race lead by just a measly 1.7 seconds. Nothing too crazy. Just out there driving, take a drone lap around here, it looks like, with our race leader from the front, the Ford Performance Ford number 4. Say that 10 times and let it roll. We'll go for it. He's stretching that thing out, but to be kind of curious here, risk versus reward when it comes to your lap times, because he has not necessarily fallen off. His best lap time was a 27.5. His last lap, obviously not this one he completes, was a 28.1. He's got the field covered by 0.2 of a second, so we'll see when he comes across the line if he's still churning and burning out here. Stretched up pretty far. It's another 28.1. So still throwing down some hot laps here. It'll be interesting to see if the driver of the 46 and John Gifford is able to go up there and catch him. I know the EPI set itself was more built for the long run. It was built, loose to tight, and unless you wanted to run another version, it's tight to loose, and that's the way it goes.
Well, Terry, if we go back, the stage is at lap 40. FTSR has adopted the stage system, one stage break, a third of the way through the race. So it's on lap 40. So we're just over halfway before we're going to hit that caution flag. So no surprise to see the 4, Bobby Trell, getting everything he possibly can out of his Ford F-150 here. Now 2.5 seconds almost over second place John Gifford. So he's really just flexing his muscle, showing what this Fury Motorsports truck is worth. And with 2 of those guys out early, he's just got to do what he's got to do to do what he can for his new team that he's found. Going back to the chats too, I got my first correction of the year coming from Sam Squatch Sally. Sam Pudgies is local to the number 69 of Steve Angie. I've been pronouncing it Ange since the drop of the green flag at Daytona, so I appreciate you correcting me. It's Angie. And then yes, the cool Dro camera. Absolutely. Nobody else can do it in the business like our producer Dustin can do it. But yeah, now 2.4 now for Bobby Trell. Really spaced out really inside this top 10. You don't really see action till just after 10th place. We got actually 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, back to like 15th or 16th here, including some side-by-side action just to get into the top 10. This is where the race is starting to pick up, Terry.
Yeah, I say it in every race that I'm in, that I'm watching, or that I'm calling. You're in the mid-pack for a reason. You're closer connected back there. The front is the front. They'll separate out because you'll understand who the fast driver is very, very early, like we saw with the 4 of Bobby. He's gone. He's checking out from this field. Everybody else kind of sits where they sit. Your qualifying people up there is normally pretty separated. Back here, it's separated by, 1/1000th of a second by how you qualify. So your race sets are normally equal the same. And you see, like you talked about, from about 10th on back, it is right on top of each other. And these are where your mistakes happen in these races. You see this machine right here, that is the 3 of Brian Bliss trying to go after Justin Diltz in the 91 machine. We saw the mistake happen earlier where it took most of the field out, put a lot of drivers 1 lap down. Close quarters racing continuously goes. They almost peaked to go 3 wide there coming out of 3 and 4.
Yeah, looks like they are wanting to, and they are stacking up. They know they got about 14 laps left before we hit that stage break. So, this is great little practice here to see what that mid to long run truck setup can do. See who you can pass, who you can't. Figure out if you need to be on the top or the bottom in certain corners, or if you can run the flat below the yellow line. This is the time to shine right now before they get to that stage break, because after that, you just got to stay committed to the game plan from there on out. As we got now inside roll bar cam essentially out the back window of Justin Diltz, getting a great view of that black spoiler, and everybody else behind him as they're all single file through this point. Keep your eye out. You mentioned Mr. Joshua Connor earlier. He's up to 6th place from that 27th starting position. Already up 21 spots. This is shades of Fred Moreau on Mondays, if you watch us on Mondays, where that 5 car just does the same thing. Starts in the back, doesn't post any type of time. He posted no practice, no qualifying. Starts 5 positions from dead rear of the field, and now he's competing for the top 5 right behind Ryan Chapman.
Sounds about right. It sounds like he understands what he's doing. When we get that stage break, it'll allow him to see what the tire wear looked like. And in this case, he's not going to have to pass 20 plus cars, 30 plus trucks to get his way up here to take the race lead. So it'll be interesting to see as you look at the best lap time from my end. He was actually 0.2 off of what the race leader set, but he was also in traffic trying to make passes. So it'll be very interesting to see once we get it. Can he get some clean air? I believe everybody's going to come down and pit onto the stage break since we didn't get a caution in between here for the 30 to 40 mark with it. We got 8 laps to go in the stage. We'll see if we get one, but this might be the caution with the 91, the 18, the 3, the 20. All of these drivers back here jockeying for position, coming off of the corner down the back straightaway. It's getting tight back here.
Jeff Brayton getting loose off of turn 2. We saw the 91 a lap prior go really low down on the back straight. Looked like the 20 there as well, trying to make some move. Douglas Hess. Yeah, this is it. And these guys have 4 sets of tires, Terry, behind the wall. They have not made a pit stop because no one really pitted at all, except for if you had damage from that first wreck. So they got a lot of set of tires, so everyone's going to be guaranteed to come down and get some new fuel, get some new tires, make their setup changes for the long run. And this is very, very typical of FTSR to have these long green flag runs. You usually don't see that lap 1 or 2 incident, but we saw it here, and I'm sure these guys don't want to repeat that. So I expect a lot of green flag from the rest of the way here, as we got 150 laps tonight. So when they go back to green flag around lap 45, I would assume we're going to be just over 100 laps remaining in the race. It was 11 of Tony Solari in the back, hitting the outside wall as he came off of turn 2 that time. But we still remain on board with Justin Dilts, looking at this exciting race here to try to get to the top 10.
Perfect use of the dog leg right there. I actually used about a quarter of it instead of all of it. Kind of kept it to where nobody else could take that lane with you. That's a big key of cutting to cut the dog leg more than what you see. You go on board with Brian Bliss in the number 3 machine from Elmira, New York, 36 years old in the Chevrolet. Got the window gang 20 below. That 20's got some speed. I'd be interested to see if Hess can actually get some decent air and be able to get around here. Up 16 positions into the top 10 finally, as we do have a Roasted Gems coffee flag thrown over the Phoenix Raceway. Be interested to see what the strategy mixes up between. Do you want stage points, Jeremy, or do you want track position?
Well, the pit road is open, so that's a great question. I don't know, who wants to sacrifice all those laps, all that position. As we're going on the Nerd TV replay here with the 54 and the 02. That's 02 of Josh Mayu. The 54. Nope, is that not the caution there? Oh, there he goes. The 54
There's
going
the
around.
caution.
That's Rick Webb. I thought he was going to drive it a little deep, but nope, he just got loose there, right off the corner exit. Could not hold on to it, so battling a little bit of a loose condition there for the Rick Webb 54. So he's going to have to get that thing corrected for the long haul. But yeah, this is basically going to bring it to the stage break. We will most likely go green, white, checker. We have not seen how FTSR tackles this thing whenever the caution laps will bleed right into your stage break. So do they call it as the stage? Do they go green, white? We're going to figure out here. Trying to key into the admin here as they're trying to talk to the drivers out there, seeing what they're going to do.
I would make the strategy game out of this. I mean, you're theoretically going to take. You see, people looks like they're not coming in. A couple of them back in the back. The 6 came in. The 12 came in. 54, 99 came in. There's the 91. He's in. There's a couple takers on pit road. I mean, like I said, I'd be very interested to see. We're about to cross the start-finish line to put 38 laps on the board. So, to me, I would make it go green, white, checkered. Like, the pace light should come off. No, pace lights are still on. They'd come around. They should go off next time by. I mean, that's a weird conundrum that we live in here.
Yeah, so I'm listening to the admins here. They're saying stage is going to fall on lap 40, so they're going to probably, let's see. I mean, it's going to be a green flag out lap 40, so completion of 40. So I'm assuming, Terry, if the pace car lights go out this time by, they're going to have 1 lap to sort it out before they hit the stage break. But you saw the guys stay out, so we know we're going green flag before the stage. Looks like 1 singular lap's going to do it. Before they go back to caution once again. We're going to do a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, iRacing iFlag. It's the iRacing standard and open source race marshaling light board system, 64 LEDs that display all the different notifications, up to 30 that iRacing throws at you in a nicely bright lit LED board system. It brings like that catch fence light essentially to your sim rig, but it brings a lot more than just, your standard flags out there. It tells you car high, car low. If you're a road racer and you got a different class behind you, it tells you to get out of the way because you got a faster car behind you. It does a lot for your sim rig and for your iRacing experience. So if you want to pick up one of these units, visit iracingiflag.com and you super nerd at checkout. It's going to save you 15% off anything you purchase from iRacing iFlag. Don't miss out on this product. Well worth the money, I would say. All the nerds are rocking one. All customizable too. You can put logos on there. You can put your name on there. A bunch of different color options that you can build however you want. So it's a pretty unique, one-of-a-kind product. But we're going to go back to green flag here. I'm assuming for one lap. So we're going to see what this looks like. Green flag, Bobby Terrell gets a decent start over to the 46. John Gifford, as Gifford goes super well high there through the dog leg. He's going to give up that spot almost to the 28 there of Cody McKinney, as he's now going to own sole position of second place. As Terry, they're heading off to turn 3 to probably end the stage.
Yeah, Cody McKinney actually is going to take a peek for the race lead here. It's the first time we've seen a challenge. We'll see if the 28 can actually get a good exit. Entry was not good for him as they come across the start-finish line. We'll see if the caution flag does come out, sponsored by Roasted Gems. There it is. There's the stage break. So the one-lap shootout has happened. Now, here's the real question, Jeremy Stanley, or Jay Stan. Well, if you look back there at the 14th position, there's Stephen Hollingsworth, just pitted. How much did he burn those tires in that one lap that they ran? Because if I count correctly, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers decided to partake in the initial caution before the stage, getting some tires. They're going to assume the race lead, but what damage did they cause on those 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles to put themselves in position to get very good track position as everybody comes down pit road, but them 8 drivers?
Virtually none. One lap. I'm sure they didn't drive it, too deep into the corner there for the 4 corners they had to do. But the 99 is still coming down pit road. You just talked about him, but he's going to stay or go back to pit road one more time. We got a couple people staying out though. Everybody else essentially that did pit, going to be staying out. Plus a couple of lap cars that you see have damage. But this is going to be a great time. We're going to go picture-in-picture mode, go to our first commercial break. We'll be back with you guys before the drop of the green flag. And welcome back to full screen coverage for the Full Throttle Sim Racing Martin Sports Truck Series, as we got about a lap left of pacing before we go live for an additional 105 laps to conclude this event. So a third of the way down, 2/3 to go. We're going to go over the Nerd TV Top 10 recap. Currently sitting top 10, Timothy Stubblefield, Stub Nation P1. Let's see what he can do with his strategy. Alan Duranko is going to resume in second. Steve Angie, third. Justin Diltz, fourth. Stephen Hollingsworth, fifth. Bobby Terrell drops back to sixth as the five guys are on strategy in front of him. Seventh place, Cody McKinney. Eighth, Joshua O'Connor. Ninth, James Torrey. And the top 10 driver, your current points leader, Ryan Chapman there in the 27. As we're going to go back to green flag here in just a second or two. Timothy Stubblefield, these guys right next to him as well. On that strategy that Terry, you mentioned about, let's see what it does. Let's see what that one lap, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, but I know how fast that 4 of Bobby Terrell is, and I would assume he's going to be right back up there. But we're 3 wide here. We saw that lap 1 of the start of the race. That did not work out for everybody. This time it did. They quickly go back to 2. Oh, Bobby Terrell hits the wall pretty decently off of exit of turn 2. That's been your bad fast truck of the night so far. You see that damage there on the right side once we get a side angle of that thing. Not looking good for the early start here for Bobby Terrell.
Well, this gives me a very good shot to sing Rocky Top, that the Tennessee Volunteers home state guy of Timothy Stubblefield's leading the race, because Rocky Top will always be home sweet home to me. He looks to the outside there of the 2 of Alan Duranko, continuously keeping that race lead. But you know the best medicine, as a caution flag wave sponsored by Roasted Gems, the best way to have a better handling truck, get clean air.
And not going to find it right now, as we got the 46 of John Gifford involved in this second caution from a wreck. It looks like Josh Mayu really gets tagged by the unknown number on my screen. I got to find the number of that truck, because it's an all-white one there. But it looks like actually Tommy Schaefer in the 29 drives it a little deep in a corner 3, or the O2 braked early. I couldn't tell initially. Got slammed in the rear, then John Gifford just taken, as a complete innocent victim there, and it crossed over a couple other guys there, Terry. So 4 or 5 trucks involved in this one here.
Yeah, just a product of close quarters racing. You get the air ripped off of it, get too loose, or get just a little bit of help from the what did you call him? The blank white truck. The no number one, that tends to happen as you take a look at this replay. We'll see if the driver got some help here to get backed into the wall, or if it was just a product of heavy braking and maybe wheel hop in the rear end as they go into the corner. We take a look at the slow-mo version of this, and definitely got some help. Yeah, it's that's a pretty big shot as you're turned at about a 30-degree angle by that moment. So if my geometry is correct, and everybody in that outside lane has nowhere to go, you can't necessarily shift these things down. There goes the 46 going around, smacks into the 7, catches it, and then all the way back down to the bottom, camera goes out. So a lot happening here. I would imagine it to be the 7 of Hoskins, and then the 11, and then the 29 all gets involved in that. For some reason, it looks like Stephen Hollingsworth decided to come down pit road on that caution, but 12 still leads it.
Yeah, the 33 also came in. I know he's multiple laps down from the lap 1 wreck, but the 33 of Sherwood Williford also tags him as the 7 goes down the track. Also, I think I saw the 9 as well. So about 5 trucks suffering damage from this wreck. That's going to cause the 46 John Gifford to disconnect. So not the outcome that guy was looking for. He had such a bad fast truck. Probably going to be finishing in the top 5 more than likely after everything cycled through, but unfortunately not going to be able to compete for the rest of this evening. Going back to the chats, Sam Squatch Sally saying, been enjoying the broadcast this season. Thanks for making it so accessible. I'm glad you're able to find it nice and easily there, and appreciate you watching. Jessica Stubblefield back on saying, let's go, Tim. Moved up nicely. Yeah, he sure did. He played them cards right. He resumes in P1 after some some great tire strategy to make that call to pit early, gamble a little bit, and it worked out for him. So let's see what he can do. Is he's going to resume in this for this next restart. It's right now it's paying off, but we'll see what the long run entails.
Yeah, this is what's going to be known as, if you follow the leader the entire time, you're probably going to follow the leader to the end of the race. If you don't jump off a strategy somewhere, and if they can keep the track position up until it's time to pit, which I do believe this series is 100% fuel, just like the normal C Open trucks, so you should theoretically have one more pit stop that will ensue at about 53 laps from now. So the cautions have helped the 2, the 12, the 69 out, giving them the fact that they don't have to pit again until probably around lap 100 on the dot, the same as what the rest of the field can do as well.
I'm going to hold you to that number. At lap 100, expect Terry's playbook to come into effect as we're going to go green flag here. The 12 of Timothy Stubblefield gets an excellent start over the 2 of Alan DeRonco and the 91 of Justin Diltz. As this restart goes there, Terry, we're going to jump into the turn up the tudes as we're going to hear all the trucks going around this 1 mile track here at Phoenix. And welcome back here as we had a short commercial break. We got our third caution, or actually fourth if you count the stage break, presented by Roasted Gems Coffee, and you caught it there as we were watching the field go through turn 1. They were 3 wide. Your race dominant truck, Bobby Terrell, right through the middle there, 3 wide. Gets sandwiched in there between the 59 and 27 points leader, Ryan Chapman, spins out and then clips the 20 truck of Douglas Hess, and then Brian Bliss on the 3 does a wheelie as he hits the 4 truck. A couple others as well, like the 8 as well. So about 4 or 5 trucks again in this one, as you're seeing now in slow motion. The wiggle, the bump. Here's the turn, and Terry sideways in front of everybody.
Yeah, normally it doesn't go over too well, does it? As you see right here, as the 4's going around, everybody else trying to miss it. The 00 did a phenomenal job. The 20 had nowhere to go. He's going to get turned back into the field, and it's just a parking lot party in the middle of 1 and 2. Gosh, 3 and 4 sounded so much better as the 3. Man, what a hit! The 8 got a big shot too into the catch fence. This is this isn't a self-cleaning racetrack. It's gonna self-clean everybody else with it. It's like a Dover type racetrack where if one truck goes spinning and everybody else is going spinning with you too. But that's a tough break for the 4 machine. Pole sitter, very fast off the jump, led the opening little bit of the laps. But in the Tale of Two Tapes, this is also phenomenal if you're the 12, the 2, the 91, and the 69 machine of Steve Angie, because, well, you know, you just kind of knocked the fastest truck out of the race, which could potentially throw this race in Cody McKinney's lap in that 28 machine, where he was the second fastest driver on the long run.
Yeah, this is the 00 there. Tyler Brown doing that excellent job to stay off the number 4, but he goes back down the track, and you see massive braking here. He does actually get some contact there as Mayu slides back, or Douglas Hess rather slides back up the track and hits him there on the right side just a little bit. Wasn't heavy. We saw the 66. That was that white truck that initially door checked the 4 as he came back down the track. Chad Curran, the 66, had to come down pit road. Had over about a minute of repair to get done to that machine. His nose still looks like it's pretty beat up overall. Pretty eventful race here at Phoenix to start the first, almost not even halfway through this event. We're just past a third of the way, essentially. Every wreck so far has had multiple trucks involved, and it has cleaned out a lot of good contenders. We already have, 12 trucks 1 lap down or more, which is a very rare sight here for FTSR. But yeah, you are absolutely right. The 12, the 2, the 91, the 28, they are just breathing a huge sigh of relief, saying, "Thank everything that I pitted before the stage break to avoid all this mess that has occurred since the stage break has been over."
Yeah, it's a bit of a gamble that doesn't necessarily pay off 100% of the time, but this time it did. Uh, that's the one thing that I kind of regret in my time as being on iRacing is not being in as many leagues as I possibly could be. Is because at the moment you have all of these drivers that got to know each other. They understand the tendencies that come with them. They understand that the 4 machine of Bobby Terrell was going to be good. They knew that coming in here. It wasn't, well, how do we necessarily beat the field? How do we beat the field plus this person? Because there's always one that's above the rest. Well, in this league, it seems to be 4 or 5 that are up there in that ballpark. So a lot of differing strategies have to come into play. The 12 and the 2, prime examples, up 31 and 19 positions from the start because strategy played dividends here.
Playing well as we're about to go back to green flag here for the 5th time. The 12 gets a great launch once again over the 2 of Alan Duranco as they're going to take the shortcut down the dog leg. The 91 Justin Dilt's going to follow suit. And a couple other trucks as they quickly go back to 2x2x2 all the way through turns 1 and 2 here. Looks to be a lot cleaner. Now, Terry, a couple seasons ago we had this thing called, Nerd Enhanced Racing Decibels where we did it and it would cause a curse and usually a wreck would happen afterwards. We got away with it last week, and then we just brought it out first time in Phoenix, and it caused a wreck. But I'm going to cross my fingers this time. I would love for you guys to take a part of it again. So we're going to kick it back to turn up the tunes, and hopefully they stay clean. We'll be with you for the next few laps so you enjoy the sights and sounds of these trucks. that was Turn Up the Tunes, as it's newly rebranded, where you get to enjoy the sounds of all the trucks this time going around Phoenix. And Terry, we got a new race leader, Cody McKinney in the 28 Toyota Tundra, snuck by Alan Duranco as we were listening to everyone drive around this track, and Timothy Stubblefield dropping back to 4th place. I wonder if that long run setup isn't underneath that 12 just yet.
Yeah, it looks like he's struggling with the conditioner that I was struggling with earlier. Was maybe driving it a little too deep. The setup gives you an inch, you take a mile out of it. It's normally what racers attempt to do. And for that 12 machine, kind of slipping back, has the 91 adjusted tilts all over that back bumper or the tailgate on these trucks. I'm sorry. Oh, we almost brought the caution out there as drivers smacked the wall. I believe that's Schaefer who has smacked it, or the 18 of Joey McKinney has smacked the wall. He's got a couple drivers behind him with Tony Solar and Rick Webb in the 10th and 11th place position. But the battle for the lead didn't last as much as the battle would, as the 28 and the 2 duked it out for a quarter of a corner. And then the 28 used those fresher tires and a little bit more exit speed to take that race lead. And, well, he's in lap traffic because he's lapping the 7 of Brian Hoskins in the 19th position. And now he has a clear track ahead of him. We'll see if that 28 of Cody McKinney can pull out and potentially lead the last quarter of this race.
Sam Hoskins, that was a part of that last wreck there through 1 and 2, and that truck had high hopes and had a really good run going, and then all fell apart in that corner on that restart. But yeah, Cody McKinney quickly out to a 4/10 of a second lead, so almost a half a second at this point over the 2 of Alan Duranco. As we're looking on board the tail camera, now on TV camera, they're the 28 going through 1 and 2 here. We're on lap 71, so we're approaching the halfway mark here. We got about 5 laps left, and we will be at the halfway point. And these guys are going to the checker flags. As little battle here, heating up almost 3 wide, trying to go around the 7 of Hoskins, that being the 18 of Joseph McKinney, 11 of Tony Solari, and the 54 there, Rick Webb, who had that solo spin earlier on. Looks like he's got that truck figured out, and he's got some pretty decent speed underneath that 54.
Yeah, the difference between the fixed setup and the open set is you can mess with the spring offset, left and right, lefty loosey, righty tighty. You go up 2 clicks, down 2 clicks, start to make it all work wild. You can change the tape, you can change the tire pressures, unlike the fixed setup where it's just, well, what's your steering ratio wants to be, and oh yeah, what's your brake bias want to go to. So these drivers have a lot of tools that they can play with. Maybe practice felt great. The temperature hadn't changed. It was 78-degree track temp, and then you join the race server, and holy hell, it's 84 degrees, and my truck doesn't like this too much. It's slidey around. So you start to tighten it up just a little bit. Maybe you started too free or too tight off the initial jump. You want to get some adjustments made. But yeah, the 54 Rick Webb spins around, dropped all the way to the rear, already started in the rear, started 31st, and didn't take long for him to go around to bring the second caution out of the evening. And now he finds his way outside the top 10, trying to get around that 18 machine. There's a lot of chaos. Oh, there it is. And we were just talking about him, and around the 54 goes.
Broadcaster's curse, still no caution. There it is. The 5th or 6th caution in total, presented by Roasted Jim's Coffee. They're getting the shout outs and all the plugs right now. They came off of turn number 2, the 54. We thought he had it figured out, and he just got loose again. Oh, actually, no, never mind. I take that back. He gave me some contact off the right side nose of the 59 there. As they come off the corner, and it took a while for Iris to throw that caution. You see the contact there. 54 overcorrects the save. He did not want to go nose first to the inside wall, but unfortunately, when you do that, it's going to bring you across traffic. Ryan Chapman of the 27 barely squeezes by. Yeah, he did a pretty good job. And then as we switched the cameras over there, you saw the 59. He got bumped by someone pretty decently, and I think it was a red truck right behind him. And it looks about 3 total trucks got some damage out of that one.
I think that 54 actually saved it from making contact with that wall there. And we see right here is that we saw the truck squirting by. There we go. And then, oh, is that the 6 of James Torrey that got in the back bumper? Yeah. So the 6 gets gets the tag there on that 59 machine, spins him around, but what a save from this 54. So take a look right here at the tailgate. Oh, that F-150 just planted him, and that's day over. And that's potential day over for the six there. He might be able to sit on pit road for a little bit, but that's easily 4 minutes of required, about 7 minutes of optional. But this is you wouldn't think this would be an aerodynamic racetrack. I've learned my lesson twice. This is an aerodynamic racetrack.
Yeah, 59 Pudgy's Pizza there just got creamed by the James Toys, the 6 truck. He didn't know, right? Because he thought maybe the 54 was going to cross in front and hit the wall, but he locked it down, did a great job of not hitting the wall. But then he's like, okay, I got to go low. And then, the 59 had to get massive on the brakes because of that. And you just nowhere to go. You see on board, he had 2 lanes and chose the wrong one. And there's not many important parts of the truck when it comes to a short track, but the nose is with your radiator. That's the important part, and you got to keep that intact. And yeah, that's going to be a huge required damage, I would imagine, squaring up there on the nose. So that's a lot of trucks damage. We're up to 8 or down to 18 on the lead lap. I think the lucky dog's going to go to Kyle Milliken. He already had one earlier. No, actually, he's still on pit road, so I'm going to take that back. We're going to try to figure out who that lucky dog was.
They were all involved in the accident. So all of these drivers back here, all the way back to that 17th position, is on the lead lap. 17th on back. No free passes. Whether they tagged the wall or iRacing deemed them as a part of the caution, no lucky dog this time. Didn't see one pop up on the server. Didn't see one pop up on the live timing over here, as they were all on the pit lane. Normally they let the lucky dog go first. They just came down pit road. A lot of damage has occurred here, as there are now 16 drivers on the lead lap, and this is turned into a battle of attrition. What's the track temp here? If it has changed any in since we started, because we've seen a whole lot of roasted gems coffee. It's 106 degrees. Holy shoot! That's why they're slipping and sliding out there.
Yeah, last season iRacing, the track temp would fall off a few degrees minimum, but it is not. We're out here in the desert, so 106. This is probably normal Phoenix weather. This time early spring, at least in Florida, it already feels like it's summer. But I have to kick it back to Brian Hoskins. I think he might have gotten lucky dog. He's currently on the lead lap. I thought he was a lap down prior. I saw him zoom by the pace car unwarranted, so he might have snuck in and got his lap back there, Terry. Brian Hoskins in that 7, currently sitting last truck on the lead lap in 16th. Not official.
Oh yeah, he is tail into the longest line. So I mean, he's slotted in the 16th position, but yeah, he's tail end. That's let a lot of people go by him.
We'll give him that hashtag Get a Grip Martin Sports Lucky Dog Award recipient. First one we're going to hand out this evening is we're back to green flag action. Cody McKinney there in the Toyota Tundra number 28, doing a great restart. Clears Michael Blackner there, who resides in 2nd place. Now he's under fire by that number 2 of Alan Duranko. Justin Dilt's right behind them in 4th. They're still 2x2 for almost the top 10 here. Michael Blackner does get around the 2, gets a great launch off of turn 2, and now he's 1 truck length away from this 28. Let's see if Mr. Michael Blackner can try to get some points here and go for that 2nd W of the season.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what incurs, because pit stops are over unless we get one in the final little bit of this race. You're not just going to openly drive in for a green flag pit stop. You should take a look at the roof cam here of Michael Blackner from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, in the 22 Ford F-150. Taking a look at the front, where 28 of Cody McKinney just laid the fastest lap of the race down with the 27.46, and P2 obviously set the 2nd fastest lap time of the race with a 27.54s. They go down the back straightaway into 3 and 4, 28 to the bottom-ish. Had more of a diamond approach compared to what Michael Blackner had, where he just went straight to the bottom and sailed it in. made it stick. Both drivers still running very good lap times. As that time, Cody McKinney said, I could do one better. It was a 27.42.
Keep an eye on these guys as they still have to endure another 67 laps here before this thing's over. So if we go green flag all the way, are you going too fast, too early? You kind of posed that question earlier during stage one, but now they got a lot more laps to take care of their stuff here. I know we've had a lot of cautions in between, so the fuel mileage isn't going to be as lengthy, but you still have to wonder, are they going a little too hard, a little too early? We've seen the 91 Justin Dilts, the 02 Duranco, they're saving their stuff. Very, very normal for people to, have multiple strategies to reel them back in toward the end of the run. But that fuel mileage, I would imagine, is extended past lap 100 with these cautions we've had. So your playbook might have to be extended out by 10 laps or so. So I'm expecting about 40 laps roughly left in the race. We might see these guys starting to dip down.
Yeah, it's be an interesting thing that can happen is you could begin to shift in the corners. So as the tires progressively get worse in the latter part of this run, you could see people downshift into third, in 3 and 4, 1 and 2. Really not a good place or 1 and 2, sorry, it's a good place to dip at 3 and 4, not so much. You just want to let that thing float. But as you come right here into turn 1, if you get it down right in the center of the corner and shift it to third and then give it some gas, carry the RPMs through the center of the corner, let it just get a gun off the exit here. You get a back straightaway speed where you go into 3 and 4, let it wash from the bottom to the wall, and then shoot the thing back down to hold more speed as you cut that dog leg. It picks up a ton of time. So we'll see if the 22 machine just kind of backs it up a little bit, lets that 28 burn some of that rubber off those tires, and says, hey, look, I'm not going to fight you too early. There's no sense in me going up here taking the race lead with about 70 to go. There's just no sense in it. I mean, now we're about to touch, we're going to have 60 laps to go coming up here shortly in about 2 laps. If you drive it too hard right now, in about 30 laps, you're going to be like, well, I wish I would have done that.
Yeah, definitely, you're not wrong there. And the top 10, for the most part, are really spaced out. We see the first and second place truck, they're within a half a second. And you got to go a second back further to find the 2 truck. He's all by himself, and then almost a second back of him. Justin Dilts, Tony Solari, these guys are neck and neck at the moment. And not really to get to 8th to 9th place, you see a 2.5 second gap between those 2 trucks of Tommy Schaefer and Rick Webb, and it looks like just outside of the top 10 has been where most of the action has been. Those guys are still duking out. They're side by side, really trying to get themselves into that 10th place here, with Mr. Stubblefield running on the top, the 69 of Steve Angie, and the 18 of Joseph McKinney on the inside, trying to take over that 12 trucks position.
Yeah, still fighting back here. Is the good part for Stubblefield in the 12 machine is he was able to get back on sequence with the rest of the field. Now, does he have the pace will be the real question to continuously fight his way back up through here. Lost a ton of spots when the tires start to come into factor. Everybody started getting on equal playing fields with him. We'll see if that translates over to what he could do as he's fighting side by side at the moment with Steve Angie in the 69 machine for that 10th place position. So, you're going to find out real quick who's begging for the caution late in the run and who's not. And I think right now that 12 machine's praying for one to jump off sequence again and then get another caution. So potentially maybe win this race on some strategy.
As you saw everyone zoom by on the inside, there was that slow truck. That was Brian Hoskins, your Lucky Dog Award winner from last caution, but that truck is just way off pace, unable to keep momentum, so he does fall a lap down here as we're on board with some fancy nose camera that was tucked somewhere in the fender here of Timothy Stubblefield. Aero doesn't play a part, so I guess you can attach the camera there as you get a direct view of everybody behind them, the 18 of McKinney and that white Toyota Tundra nose. You're seeing it there, and they're kind of too wide here, spacing out fan. Okay, it looks like the Steve Angie was going to go through the dog leg, then decided not to. Very decent shot here off the 12's nose.
Yeah, you see the tires spinning right there. It makes me think of life as a highway. Uh, you start to see the cars going by, or maybe a good camera shot from Cars, which is one of the better Pixar movies that has ever existed on this planet. Take a look back there at the other McKinney that's in the field. That would be Joey, not Cody. Joey. I correct myself from earlier. The 18 was Cody. No, that's Joey. And funny story about Cody and Joey McKinney is we actually raced in a league together when I first got on iRacing. Randy Henshaw has a league out there. Really good buddy of mine. And I think the league still goes. And Cody McKinney was a good teacher that actually taught me how to do certain things on the sim world and how to conserve tire and how to figure things out. And that's also where I met the great people over at Roasted Gems.
Well, hopefully he watches this race back and picks up your.
He gets a good shout out. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a good shout out there from Mr. Terry Radford. And go back to your previous comment there about Pixar. Just don't be throwing Toy Story underneath the bus.
Well,
and I think we'll remain friends here.
Nothing wrong with Toy Story, but I mean, Cars was Cars, man. They had what was the they had the King, they had the
Dale Jr.
They had Dale Jr. You had Daryl Waltrip. I mean, you had a lot thrown at you there with Cars. I mean, what did Toy Story have other than Tim Allen and what's his face? Exactly. I don't even remember it. Tom Hanks. That's right, Tom Hanks. See, the Nugget guy back there behind us.
Yeah, Mr. Know-It-All coming up with the facts that we need once again on the spot. So appreciate you. Sam Squatch Sally on the chat saying ka-chow. Picking up on our little fun Pixar storytelling here. But this race, Terry, has not simmered down at all. The 54 now trying to look to the outside of the 18 here in McKinney. That being Rick Webb as they both get loose off of turn 2 here. These trucks don't look the happiest right now, but Rick Webb, he has now been a part of 2 cautions. He's still up 21 positions from his starting place on the lead lap, running in 10th place. This guy has had a wild night, and we're just 2/3 of the way complete here as we're coming up to lap 100, where this is where your playbook opens up, Terry. What are you expecting here for the next 10 laps?
Well, in the next 10-ish laps, you at this moment now have another pit stop. So you're going to pit again because your last pit stop was lap 76. So for me, as a racer, you're a very good racer, and our producer's a damn good racer too. I must say, across the board, right? We're all 3. Well, 2 of us are good. The guy who's talking, he's a little behind him. He likes to wreck Dustin at super speedways. But in this portion, you have a pit stop coming. You don't want to necessarily split this in half. Probably lap around 130-ish, you should be coming down the pit lane. Burn them up. Run like hell. If you're in the mid-pack, short pit. Don't burn them up too much back here. The dirty air doesn't allow you to do it. But if you're somewhere in the front, like Cody McKinney or Michael Blackner, you do what Blackner's doing. He's 2/10 back now. He has shortened it. There's a battle going on for that race lead. It's Blackner and McKinney has problems. He's dropping down the board.
As we're, at least I'm still on board here. Yeah, he is. The 22 is all over the back of Cody McKinney. You're trying everything possible to get around him. I got 2 things for you on that. One, I might be good on the track when it's at full speed, but I am terrible at the pit strategy. So even my playbook calling here on the booth is no good. So don't listen to me. And then you said lap 130. Now, do you think that's a little too late for these guys to make that pit? We saw a couple people in California a couple weeks ago here at FTSR. They make a later pit stop, and it costed one driver in particular a victory. I think that was Tommy Schaefer, who just stayed out way too late, tried to make a pit. He did make his ground. He gained most of his spots back but one, which was the lead, which he had been in for half the race. So 130 might be a little stretch, but like I said, I'm terrible at the playbook. You might be onto something there, but we're currently on lap 105 coming up to, and these guys are still out here ticking down some laps as Michael Blackner and Cody McKinney have found the lap traffic.
Our timing had a glitch. So, for all you Cody McKinney fans out there, he didn't drop down the board. Timing lost for him for a second. That was kind of weird. It's like the transponders at a racetrack like to turn off. Looks like he just flipped his off to give us a heart attack and a scare, but the battle for the lead has heated up. As you see, the front bumper of that 22 machine all over the 28, but I would say 130. I mean, you think 50, what's 53 plus 70? You got 53 laps to play with. It puts you in that ballpark. Fuel, not necessarily your worry in the back of your mind, but these tires are ridiculous. If you look at the lap times, and I'll pull my Larry McReynolds due here since our producer's doing it in our ear, 27.4 was the fast lap time set by Cody McKinney. He's running a 28.8 at the moment. You know, when we pitted on lap 76, we're 30, 33, 31 laps in this run. They got 20 laps to go. So right around that 130 mark, you're going to start seeing drivers come down pit road if they want to stretch it all the way to the end. You could come lap 20, 125, somewhere in that ballpark, but you don't want to set yourself up for failure on the back end of this run either, because if you pit too early, you're going to burn your stuff up. If you pit too late, you just pitted too late.
Yeah, and also when you stay out longer, you don't have to put as much fuel in the truck. So, and if you're coming in just for 2 tires even, if you're going to play that strategy, that's less time spent trying to fuel the truck up. There's also, that new auto fuel strategy. I don't know if they have it in effect here. They didn't announce it or anything, but it kind of does the math for you. So you don't have the spotter in your ear working behind the scenes trying to get you your maximum quality pit stop without having to waste excess time. I don't know if that's in effect, like I said, but I'd be kind of curious to see if that does play a part as Michael Blackner just drives it in deep, almost tags the back of Cody McKinney this time as we're coming up to lap number 110. This track, it's pretty racy. There is multiple grooves to an extent here, depending on how you want to approach the corners, but the 22 just can't find the speed. As he gets loose himself off of turn 4, he's going to lose a couple truck lengths to the 28 crossing the line.
Yeah, loses just a little bit here, cutting the dog leg. Sort of kind of fading away for most of the pack, but the top 2 leaders are still doing it. It is now 14 drivers on the lead lap as they exit 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Lap traffic's also playing an issue. The only battle, or the only 2 battling for the race leads right here on your screen. The 28 and the 22 kind of came out of nowhere here as they cut all the way to the bottom. Damage on both sides of the vehicle for both of them. Kind of interesting as the gap has stayed 2 to 3 tenths. This time it gets up to 4 tenths of a second, separates them. 1 and 2's been the strong suit for the 22, and 3 and 4 has been the strong suit for the 28. So a tale of 2 racetracks so far for your leaders. They come put another lap on the board.
So, question for you on the 22 then. You got that looseness that you saw a couple laps ago off of turn 4, and you temporarily had shuffled back a couple tenths. We got a really slow truck down the backstretch, almost to a complete stop, and it does to a complete stop, and it's going to bring out the 7th caution presented by Roasted Gems Coffee. As we saw a really slow truck come to a complete stop down the back straightaway. Not sure what was going on there. It might have been maybe the number 20. We're trying to figure that out. Yep, the number 20 there just comes off of turn 2. And you see him coasting there really slow. And then just gets on the brakes right here. Right there. Right to a dead stop. Right on the start. I know he looked like he was just trying to get out and do his toe. But you can't do that on a straightaway that has no outlet. iRacing sees it as you slow on the racing surface in front of a bunch of trucks because these trucks were all scattered all over the place. And it just, you see the RPM just gradually drop there as we're on board the helmet cam of Douglas Hess. and just comes to a stop. I'm not sure. I'm almost assuming, Terry, that he he didn't want to make the corner, because that's the inside preferred lane. There you go right to the inside before the wall cuts out. So maybe he's like, maybe I'm just gonna avoid all the confusion, be really slow, and just back out. But either way, it's gonna bring out the 7th caution here tonight.
I'm I I'm kind of minded not to say anything, because if I say anything, it normally gets me in trouble half the time of what I think about people who stop on the racetrack to bring the caution out to benefit themselves. So I will not say that, but I'm very interested at the fact that, well, people pitted in the back early. I don't know if the pits were necessarily open, but Cody McKinney came down pit lane, and then if you look here, well, the 17 and the 18 came down, but the 12 stayed out on old tires.
And that's Timothy from Stub Nation there. As this cycles through, we're gonna give another shout out to one of our sponsors here. This time, TWRS, Team Watson Racing Setups, the leading name in quality, affordability, and professionalism, with a staff decorated, distinguished, and dedicated setup builders. TWRS delivers top-notch race and championship-winning setups to the iRacing garages of drivers across the simulation community. Check out full list of services at teamwatsonracing.com. And Terry, going back to the story here, as people have made their pit stops, looking at the field here, yeah, Timothy Stubblefield does resume P1. His truck had fallen off quite a bit, as the laps started ticking down on that long green flag run. Interesting call here by this team is he's got 28, Cody McKinney, Michael Blackner, all of them going to resume directly behind him. So what do we think? What's the fate of this 12 truck right now?
This is kind of hard. He's praying for luck. He's hoping that once again cautions breed cautions. If he gets 5 laps, he's gold. 5 laps, he's got it made. I mean, he'll go all the way back to the 16th position, and after that, who cares? He got 5-lap fresher tires. He could just roll the bottom better than they can. He'll be able to come through the field, but he needs 5 laps and maybe somebody 10th on back to have an issue and cause a wreck to take 2 or 3 more out. He's pushing his luck with the strategy, but I love the strategy.
Let's see how this is going to work. It's going to put Stub Nation on their feet that's currently watching our Nerd TV broadcast, whether it be on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube. I got you covered on all 3 scenes. We're going to see what the 12 of Timothy can do on this restart, as we've seen a really bad, fast truck this later half of the race from Cody and Michael Blackner. We'll see what this looks like. Green flag does fly once again for the 7th time. It is out. The 28, the 22 dip early for the dog leg. A couple other drivers follow suit. Everybody else stays up top as they're going to run 2 by 2, entering turn number 1 and 2. And there goes the 12. Falls back to the 28, the 22, the 2, the 27. The Tony Solari in the 11 actually getting some great speed. First time we've seen him in the top 5. And the 12, Stubblefield, finds the outside wall, exit the turn number 2. And quickly, this truck's going to drop outside the top 10. And he's going to fall back some more, Terry.
Yeah, he's going to drop like a rock in a pond. There isn't much you could do on old tires here at Phoenix. He's praying for the caution. You didn't lose much with the strategy. He was already back there in the mid-pack. Not a whole lot that he gave up. If the 99, well, as I say that, the 99 passes him, if there's the caution he was looking for, that puts us on lap 119. That's 5 on the dot, son. And that was also a driver who was in the top 10. The 00, the 11, the 59 checked up for that. Just so happy that the luck pays off. He comes, takes tires here. Gorgeous.
8th caution, sponsored once again by Roast Jim's Coffee. This time, Looks like Tommy Schaefer just drives into the back of the number 11 of Tony Solari. You're going to see it right there. Boom, just cleans him into the turn 3. Almost hits the inside wall, slides midway through the track, and just major pileup ensues right after that. Again, these restarts, the trucks are piled up. There's not a lot of racing area to avoid a wreck. It is a wider track, but being a short track situation, you see trucks everywhere. And you see the 8 involved. Oh my lord, was that the Webb machine, Mr. Rick Webb, that just got launched into the catch fence? That was 00 Tyler Brown. I apologize there. Tyler Brown just obliterated the catch fence. Thankfully, that fence was there. Those virtual fans are remaining safe. But that was the 18 that kind of glitch launched him with Jeff Brayton in the 55. We're going to go on TV camera with the 00. And boom, just, man, massive hit to that catch fence. And a little top turny there.
Well, just a little bit up there. That outside wall is taking quite a beating here. As there's the 12 on pit road, doing what I thought he would do. Is taking that lane as his personal area, and well, he's only gonna come out well. So kind of paid off.
What do we think here? He got his caution. If this is exactly what he was planning for, right? He got his caution. Now his tires are about like what, 4 laps fresher than everybody else. Let's say on the maximum spectrum there. And if it goes green the rest of the way, he's gonna have just over or just under 30 laps to use those fresher set of tires. Does that play the difference? We only have 15 trucks on the lead lap. This guy, Timothy Stubblefield, looks like he's going to be restarting in 12th. Does having the 4-lap fresher tires get him from 12th to 1st?
I haven't seen the speed out of him. If he had the speed, I would say yes. I haven't seen it. Now, is that to say that he can't find it? You know, potentially he could, but I think the tires is going to be what saves him at this moment, because the tires, that 5-lap difference, as everybody pushed it as hard as possible, could be the one idea that puts him on a pedestal to go up here and potentially get this win.
Quick shout out to Shad Curran, going to be the hashtag Get a Grip Martin Sports Lucky Dog Award recipient, going to the 66 this time, as he did wave around 2 laps prior. That's going to move him to the first truck 2 laps down. So if we do get a caution again, he will most likely resume getting another one to him. So Shad Curran does move up to 2 laps down. And going to the chats, Sam Squatch Sally once again still watching us, saying 8 out of 10, great landing with the laughing face. You don't see the glitches happen like that too often. It sucks for the driver who was involved, but for the viewers, it makes it just a little more entertaining, as that 00 does dip out of the session, completely obliterating that fence. That truck is toast. It is done. Going back to green flag for the 8th time this evening, 28. Cody McKinney with an excellent launch over everybody else, as they are 2 wide, scattering all over the place. Quickly resume file, 2 by 2 by 2. Going through 1 and 2 here. Mr. Duranko's trying to do something with Blackner, but he's just too fast off the exit of turn 2. Almost slaps the outside wall, followed by Ryan Chapman there. A little bit of a domino effect, but they keep it clean. Heading off to the start-finish line for lap 124 there, Terry.
Yeah, we're coming down here to 25 laps to go, and we'll see now who the faster trucks are. Joey McKinney also came down on that lap 119 caution. So 2 drivers that are going to have fresher-ish tires, as Joshua O'Connor did as well. They're the fastest trucks on the racetrack at the moment. We'll have to see, can they drive through this field and make things happen? It's kind of put Joshua O'Connor out of your mind. He's got clean air in front of him, so he's going to be a tad bit faster as I say that. And then I look up here at the top of the board, and it's a 27.25 and a 27.30 has led the fastest laps of the race so far, as Cody McKinney and Michael Blackner kind of just did what they wanted to do. Speed is not an issue at the front of this field with now I believe that's 25 to go on the dot.
This has turned out to be a really good race for this top two, the 20 and the 22. We're trying not to leave our focus on these guys. They've been producing an excellent battle for the race lead. Everybody else is kind of wishful thinking to get up there and mix it with them, but right now they are the class of the field. Want to kick it back to Timothy Stubblefield, keeping an eye out on this guy. Moved himself up 2 spots, it looks like 1 or 2, residing in 12th. He did fall back to 13th, I think, on that restart. So 1 spot gained. Not making those moves like maybe we had expected. You said he didn't see the speed from him, but I expected a little bit more with the fresher tires. But does not look like Stubblefield at the moment has that truck to advance forward as he's trying to put the pressure on the 18 of Joseph McKinney. Just not able to do so.
Once you pancake the right side of these trucks, unless you throw a big change at it, you have to physically just take the tightness out of it, because you have to make that truck as loose as possible. It stiffens the right side up so much. It hurts the turn in. It hurts the corner off speed. It hurts the handling all the way around that race truck when you pancake that right side in particular. So was interested to see what the 12 can do. Didn't see the speed. Thought that the tires might have been a good balance here. As you take a look up here at the 91 of Justin Diltz, he's looking at Schaefer up in front of him there in the 29 machine, who has just had a very quiet night. We talked about him getting collected in an incident earlier on, kind of tapping somebody in the rear. Qualified 5th for that 29 machine. He sits 5th. He's the only one other than Brian Bliss and Douglas Hess who have stayed stagnant. You know, they haven't lost any, they haven't gained any. They just stayed where they're at. Very quiet night there for the 29 machine.
Yeah, I mean, he did cause that last incident, but outside of that, I think there's one other moment in the race where he was tagged, if I recall right. But either way, outside of that, the 29 has been quiet for the most part. He had a really excellent race in California. And then he just last week kind of had a mellow race, and now he's a little bit over the place right now. Top 5 for that 29, the only non-numbered truck visually to everyone watching. But that white truck is number 29, Tommy Schaefer. Justin Diltz trying to get back into the top 5 right behind him in the 91. He's been there in the 4th or 5th position for the most part of this race. Currently residing in 6th, trying to make that pass back. And right behind them, they got a couple other guys that are really looking forward to moving up, and then it really spaces out about 8th, 9th, 10th. They're really, just trying to figure out how to make any progress. But Terry, the 1st and 2nd place, starting to heat up really good again. Michael Blackner all over the back bumper of the 28 Cody McKinney, as we're just under 20 laps to go. This is going to be a heck of a shootout here.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lap times there, and that time by it was a 10th quicker for the 22 machine as he puts a nose underneath. That Red Bull machine's giving him some wings. He's going to look, not going to work. That Toyota that's leading this race trying to hold off the Ford. He gave me the bumper just a little bit. Don't pinch down. Cody McKinney, one of the most, I would say a little bit more ferocious when it comes to driving. One of the early lessons he taught me is don't take shit from nobody, and if they give you shit, you give it right back to them. So that was definitely an early life lesson from the 28 machine, and I don't think he takes too kindly to the 22 giving him the bumper. And if he does get around him like that, expect him to give it right back, as here he goes in the dog leg. 2 quarters there.
Big block, hard cut to the left, but the 22 still has the preferred line going through 1 and 2. Contact, 28 sideways.
Oh, what a save!
They have over 2 seconds to compensate for it, but the 2 of Alan Duranco is going to make up a whole second of that ground as the 22 just slides a little deep into turn 1 and has a little bit of contact to the right front to left rear tire area. and it caused the 28 to kick sideways, but excellent driver control of that truck. And the 22 of Blackner throws it in turn one once again. We've seen this quite a few times where Blackner's done that. As, oh no, heavy contact to the inside wall. The 22 is done for this race. And now the 2 has his sights on Cody McKinney. All of a sudden, this landscape changes for a couple of these guys.
Patience, patience, patience. He's done. Yeah, that's way too much contact. I mean, he's dropping through the field now, but patience is a virtue, and aggression normally doesn't work. Unfortunately, you saw right there, you saw the 22 get aggressive really quick, as he's going to have to bring it down pit road. I believe he had the meatball flag pop up. That's how hard he hit that thing. But aggression went around. You know, we saw him make contact with the 28 of Cody McKinney lap prior, and then he sails it into 3 and 4, washed up the racetrack, maybe lit that right front up, and it's done.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. The 28 did nothing wrong, so I feel like the 22 got a little upset of himself because he washed up and made that contact, and then he had his focus not where it needed to be. He went to that same exact corner the following lap and just overshot the braking point or the lifting point. However, he's trying to tackle turn 1, completely missed the corner, and then came off of turn 2. And I'm surprised that truck didn't slide back up into the middle of the track. It just kind of wall glued to the bottom. Meatballed Michael Blackner has exited the vehicle and disconnected. That's going to put him from second place all the way back. Probably going to be rounding out in 20th. Yeah, 20th place. That's huge implications for his points battle. As we got about 10 laps left, I'm going to do one of our sponsor plugs. I'm going to go to Martin Sports. Small company with a big-time product, home of the sim gloves, all of sim racing. Martin Sports makes the most breathable and durable gloves in the sim racing world, specializing in fully customized sublimation printing on everything from team uniforms to shirts, hoodies, for allowing zero restriction to colors, which allows for the absolute fastest turnaround in the business. So check out their full apparel lineup and merchandise at martinsports906.com or the shorter link at martinsports.gg. Either way, when you check out, Super Nerd is going to save you 25% off anything you purchase over from Martin Sports. As we now got 8 laps to go, or 9 laps to go here. Cody McKinney, 1.5 seconds over Alan Duranco. No pressure. The 28 just got a coast around this track. Pray that there's not a caution in sight for him. Austin Hunter in the chat saying, hi, Terry. So, Terry, you got 2 people now in the chats for you. And Jessica Doublefield with the fingers crossed. Hopefully a good turnaround, as Doublefield has actually moved up to 9th place.
Wow, I got 2 fans out there. That's more fans that I've had in a while, so I appreciate that. As yeah, as the producer's a smartass in my ear. Yeah, this is kind of what I thought. I mean, I didn't think that the 12 was going to necessarily drive through the field and burn the house down, getting up there to the front. You know, it's kind of been mid-pack all race long. It's really all he's had was the mid-pack portion. He had the track position and lost it. I mean, lost it with I'm not going to say lack thereof speed, but it wasn't necessarily the fastest amount of speed, right? We saw the speed out of the 4, and I truly would have been interested to see. This changes everything because I'm coming down to take 4 fresh tires.
I think I've lost count, but this is now the 9th Roasted Gems coffee this evening at Phoenix Raceway. And, you know, we might have to talk to Roasted Gems for a contract renegotiation. As we're trying to figure out where this caution came from. Right now, the camera's on the 54, and there it is. The 55 of Jeff Brayton and the 54 of Rick Webb. From that angle, we're going to have to get another shot of that one because that almost looked a little more malicious here. We're going to go through turn 1 here and just didn't even turn left. It looked like either locked up the brakes or didn't turn the wheel. Either way, 55 slams the 54, who had been all over the place. 2 incidents, has been running top 10, doing a great job. We're on board here, and we're listening to Jeff Brayton in the chats. 54 and 55 are not too pleased at the moment, so this is huge. I mean, 28's got to now battle these guys. He's got to get one clean restart, basically just outside of a green-white checker. What does it look like here on this restart?
I'm not 100% sure if I can say what I really want to say. There's a couple extra adjectives I could throw out there potentially. Maybe a couple of verbs. This is going to be chaotic because if you're the 27 or the 2, this is the first time you've been in this position. No disrespect to Alan or Ryan, but you haven't been in the spot to potentially take the lead, much less the win. The 2 was kind of gifted second place when the 22 had the issues in the wall. And, well, if you're the 27 machine, you start right on the back bumper of the 28, the guy who took over the shoes of what the Ford truck did. Now you got to make it happen.
Shout out to the 66 once again. Shad Curran picking up his second Martin Sports hashtag Get a Grip Lucky Dog award, handed that to him as he's making his pit stop here after getting his lap back. He did fall to 3 laps down. Now he's back to 2 laps down virtue to that lucky dog. He might have one more waiting for him. If I'm counting these correctly, that is the 9th caution. I'm thinking it might be 8, but I've counted 9, so I'm just going to keep rolling with it. Will we see double digits? I know this is a short track, and this is unlike FTSR where, we only see 1 caution here, 1 caution, maybe 2. We're at 9. We're approaching double digits here. Things are heating up on the track, with position swaps, and now we got some the mental strategy of got to keep yourself cool and collected. You still have a couple laps left to get this thing done.
This is going to be a full send type moment because if you look up and down the board, 12th, 13th, and 14th all came down pit lane. That's the massive difference. I mean, we're going to have an authentic green-white checkered finish. So if you're the 18 of Joey McKinney, who's had a little speed, not a whole lot of speed, you have to make as many moves as possible and hope that a caution does not come out.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens here. They're coming to the green flag at lap 149. So this is an unofficial green-white checker. They do have 3 in the books if they have to run it, but this will be an unofficial one, so 3 more attempts if they needed. 28 in the best spot in the house, has been getting excellent restarts. These tires are a little older, and you're turning into these corners, so you got to watch out for that dreaded tire spin. Make sure you don't do that. You have the fastest truck. Don't wreck it here on this start. As we're coming up to the green flag, it is out. The 28, great launch. Gets to the shifts okay. Looks like a little hesitation getting into the 3rd gear, though. The 27, Ryan Chapman, points leader, is going to make a great dive here. He's going to gain a couple of spots, going to put himself potentially in 2nd place here. But the 28, McKinney, gets himself out to sole advantage of the race lead. Probably going to finish there as long as it stays green. Come to the white flag.
Yeah, coming to the white flag. The 2 is going to fight off the 27 of Chapman as Cody McKinney. He's kind of walking away. White flags in the air, 1 to go, and it's going to be a battle of who can make it back to the finish line.
There's not a single part, or I can say it's the winning moment for this 28 because he's just been doing it. A lot of good battles with the 22. 22 unable to finish with him. It's going to allow the 28 to come through 3 and 4 for the final time after this crazy races. We got a wreck in the back, but Cody McKinney, Martin Sports winning moment, belongs to you. 4 winners and 4 races to start off the 2023A season. Great job by Cody McKinney to get through all the wrecks, all the chaos, stay up front in the back half of this event. Job well done. Cody McKinney, your winner at the Phoenix 150. And notation, I think I saw Justin Dilt, Steve Angie, a couple other guys involved coming through turn 3 to come to the checker flag. Crazy race here tonight.
Yeah, this is this was a last minute dodging for positions, and this was a very fun race. I'm really, really happy that I was a part of this.
Yeah, I mean, usually it's a lot of green flag action, which, it's great to see, but every once in a while people like the short track style racing, and this is everything. We had a long green flag run. We had a lot of short runs. We had multiple cautions. We had basically everything that you could have expected in a short race happen here at 150 laps at Phoenix. Cody's going to go ahead and do the nose to wall burnout here. Just light them up here right at the start finish line. As he does so, we're going to kick it over to the finishing results. Unofficial, of course, until all penalties are had, if there is any. But Cody McKinney takes it on P1. Alan Duranco does finish in second. Ryan Chapman bringing home top three. Great points day for him. 20 or fourth place. Tommy Schaefer in that 29. Crazy race for him overall. Going to finish in fourth. Fifth place, Stephen Loomis out of nowhere, top five. Sixth place, Tony Solari. Seventh, Justin Diltz. Eighth, with that bold strategy from Timothy Stubblefield, able to pick up a couple positions. Joshua O'Connor, ninth. And to round out tonight's top 10, Stephen Hollingsworth.
Yeah, we go back here to the 11th place position. You find Joey McKinney, Rick Webb, 12th, Jeff Bratton, 13th, Steve Angie in 14th, Shad Kerr in 15th, Maxwell Slosh in 16th. Back here, multiple laps down, Brian Bliss in 17th, Josh Mayu, Brian Hoskins, and Michael Blackner.
21st, Kyle Milliken. 22nd, Tyler Brown. Everybody else on back did not finish the event. 23rd, Sherwood Williford. 24th, Brody Hanna. 25th, James Torrey. 26th, Leonard Stang. 27th, Douglas Hess. 28th, Richie Coy. 29th, Bobby Terrell. 30th place, you'll find Colby Mice. 31st, John Gifford. 32nd, TJ Bartell. And Nick Goebel rounds out the 33rd place position here at Phoenix. We're going to go to full screen commercial break as we wind up the top three, get a word with them to see what their thoughts were on this crazy race here at Phoenix. Stay tuned. We'll be back with you momentarily. Broadcast for the Martin Sports Post Race Show. We're going to bring you the top three finishers for tonight's crazy event here at Phoenix. We're going to see if we can bring in third place finisher Ryan Chapman, your current points leader, driver of the number 27. Ryan, you got a copy?
What's up, fellas? I do.
Hey, man, congratulations on bringing home third place. That truck was beat up on the left side, the right side. You had to avoid multiple wrecks. How scared were you of that points lead to go away?
Oh man, I think I need to change my diaper over. That was probably one of the scariest races I've ever been in. I was just dodging left and right, and then I had the damage, and the guys in the Discord were not happy with me. I was going off, but then we just kind of zoned back in and drove it.
Yeah, so coming home P3 here. This is question I wanted to ask because, well, I love your sponsor on the side of the 213simware.com boys.
Thank you.
How did you get in touch with them and get them on your truck?
Basically, saw a post about them on Facebook and DM'd them, said we had a team and we broadcast races, we run and broadcast races, your guys's Nerdtudes, and they saw how we've been doing and just wanted to come on board and support us. So yeah,
I'm a big
that's how I
fan
came
of them
about.
on Twitter. I'm a big,
Yeah,
big fan of them on Twitter.
they actually got one of our shirts up on their website. So
We might have to see about getting one of those on on old Terry Radford here soon.
yes, sir, definitely.
Well,
Thank you so
Ryan,
much.
summarize the night, man. The floor is yours. Anyone out there that's currently watching, you got some fans out there on the Nerd TV broadcast cheering you on. Who else would you like to thank tonight?
First off, my mom, she supports me and lets me do this more than I should, but I love doing it and she backs me 110%. The team in general, because they're just so great people over there. They just keep your head in the game and just tell you to keep going. And that's what happened. Me and Alan, my teammate, we were able to both pull off podium finishes. So we're excited about that. Just got to thank our sponsors, SimMotion, like you said, 213 Simware, Martin Sports for putting this whole thing on, being the big sponsor, and overall you guys for doing that too. But yeah, SimMotion, a big part of our group. They help us with our wheels and everything. But yeah, just everybody all around.
Well, appreciate all the words there, and go ahead and celebrate with the team, man. Job well done on the P3 finish.
Thank you guys. We'll keep it going. Hopefully, keep this points leads.
Yes, sir. Good luck as the 10 races left are underway. Have a good night, man.
You too, guys. Thank you.
That was third place finisher Ryan Chapman, number 27. We're going to kick it over to the number 2 Sim Seats machine of Alan Duranco. First time I think we get to talk to him this season. How's it going, man?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing pretty good up here in the booth. Crazy race had us on edge of our seats essentially for the most part. How did you bring home second? The race was so crazy with long run, bunch of short runs, multiple trucks per wreck. And somehow you escaped most of that and able to bring home second place. So congratulations on that. What
Thank
was
you.
the strategy going through there?
Well, going into it, the team were kind of discussing maybe not qualifying because we didn't want to start in the middle of the pack. So a couple of us didn't qualify. I ended up starting dead last, which was kind of crazy. Um, but then, yeah, getting through those first few wrecks helped a lot, and then just the cars, or the truck, I mean, just started coming together. Those long runs, it was never too loose. I could always give it throttle. Um, didn't have enough there at the end, but it was still a great run. So
Well, that the Sim Seat Chevy looked really good up there. I mean, you're up 31 positions. You get a shot on the outside lane to potentially take the lead on the final restart. Wheel spin, not enough speed. What kind of cost you from being able to go up there and challenge the 28?
yeah, I didn't get the jump that I wanted to. He just got a little bit better of a jump. And then I thought if I could, I probably should have stayed a little bit higher to try to get more of a run. But I knew Ryan was cutting down low, and he got a lot more ground than I thought, so he kind of scared me coming into one. So I bobbled a little bit, and then as soon as I bobbled it, it was just damage control after that, and just trying to maintain that second position. But it was a hell of a race. It was a great win. I apologize, I can't remember who won the race, but um, great win. Ryan did well. The whole team did well. So overall, it was a good race tonight.
Yeah, Cody McKinney in that 28 did end up winning this race.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Floor is yours, man. Before we let you go, who would you like to thank that's currently watching you guys do this on their TV?
Yeah, I'd like to thank SimSeats, SimMotion, Elevated Outdoors. I'd like to thank Full Throttle Sim Racing, Nerd TV, you guys for putting this on, Elevated Esports, RC Gaming, and then Artfly, my own graphics company, Third Coast Graphics, and then couldn't have done it without the Elite Industries setups. So thank you.
Yeah, appreciate all the good words out there, and go ahead and celebrate with the team, man. Great job once again bringing home second place.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that was runner-up Alan Duranko in the number 2 Sim Seats Chevrolet. And now it's time to bring in Cody McKinney, the Broughton Kennels Toyota Tundra race winner. How's it going, man?
Good that everything's kind of settled down now.
Yeah, settling down for sure. Crazy race. You and the 22, Michael Blackner, had an excellent battle after essentially stage 2 started. Yeah, as everyone else kind of wrecked out and just left you guys out there. Excellent battle, side by side at times. A little bit of a late contact. So, what was your mindset when you made that or had that contact happen to you entering turn 1?
I knew it was gonna happen eventually. I mean, that truck he had it was on rails, especially on the long runs. So I mean, I knew the contact was gonna happen at some point. He got to the inside and wasn't quite expecting it right there, but luckily we were able to save it and keep going.
Cody, it's been a long time no see or hear from you, but how's my favorite HMG Innovations driver doing?
What's going on, Terry?
Yeah.
Terry, I'm gonna need you to start coming help with broadcasts every week.
Yeah, it's been like good
Uh,
luck to you, huh?
nah, it's good. Past 3 weeks kind of been rough. Getting involved in incidents, getting taken out when had fast truck. So the past few weeks have been kind of a rough start and started getting a little irritated going into tonight. Wasn't sure how it was gonna go, but man, this truck it was just great. Glad we were able to hold on, especially on that green white checkers, super old tires. And yeah, it's glad we were able to come out on top.
Well, I tell you what, if the Martin Sports Truck Series over here correlates with the Open for C Open, maybe we can run some practice sessions together, and I could give my take from up here, and then we can run together on the racetrack. I felt like I might have been a contender to win the race if I was on the racetrack tonight. I think you know how I race. You taught me, so I feel like we got the same mentality of wreck or be wrecked.
Yes, I don't know if I'd want to do that because normally the student overtakes the teacher.
I, I wouldn't go too far with me being the person overtaking the teacher. I've had a bad C Open week this week.
Well, Cody, welcome to victory for the first time, and it sounds like you got things set up as long as everything aligns your way to have a really good, strong middle to second half of the season. So, that being said, the floor is yours. Who would you like to thank out there this evening before we let you go?
Thank everyone at McKinney Racing, teammates, brother co-owner Joey McKinney, teammate Nick Goebel, Randy Henshaw, sister team with Schaefer Racing, Tommy Schaefer, and Tyler Brown, Broughton Kennels, Agent Ink Apparels, and Overton Speed Shops. They hooked this truck up every week so far. Glad we were just able to finally get it all in one piece and put the whole race together for them.
Well, good job. Congratulations once again, bringing home P1. Strong race out there tonight. And hopefully we'll be talking to you soon in the weeks to come.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
You too. And that was Cody McKinney, driver the number 28, to bring home the win tonight here at Phoenix. Terry, it's time to wrap up this very chaotic race here tonight. Overall thoughts and joining us in the booth for the first time in 2023.
Yes, what seems like forever, I finally get to come home to one of my favorite places over here on Nerd TV. So this won't be the last one. I think I'll be around next week too. I have some time from the PRL side of things. This is my what's normally a triple header night is a double header night because here in about 15-ish minutes I go live on LSR TV. So yeah, I'll be up till about 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time before I go lay myself down to the bed to get up at 6 for work. But I love the racing here. Phoenix is one of my favorite racetracks on the schedule. I mean, regardless of what car combo you put here, this is one of the raciest tracks. I kind of like the older version better. The newer version makes you drive just a little bit different. I know that sounds stupid, but you normally set yourself up 3 and 4 in the smaller corner and not the wider corner. So it makes a different challenge of what makes your lap the fastest, because 1 and 2 messes your whole lap up. It used to not mess your lap up. 3 and 4 messed your lap up. So it's a big it's a big swing of how things worked. But I love being here. I love the graphics. I love what Dustin Longston and what you've done over here at Nerditudes. I'm just here to help and be a small little fish in a bigger pond.
Well, I appreciate those words, man. And yeah, double duty. Whew. Good luck to you on part 2 of your night here. As you got another whole race to be a part of. But we're going to close this thing down. We're going to thank our partners one last time. You probably heard them quite a bit over this race with all the time that we've had. But they allow us to do this every 2 times a week. So shout out once again to Full Throttle Sim Racing. Join all the action. You've seen them on their TV week in and week out, 2 times a week. That's FTSR.net. Be a part of the action. Mach 1 Performance, the Monday Night Cup Series sponsor. Race fabrication shop that produces champions and winners from all sorts of racing divisions. Visit them on Facebook at facebook.com/Mach 1 Performance. Sim Racing Points, all-inclusive league points management system that allows the ability to completely track the league stats and points with a simple upload. Visit them at simracingpoints.com. Martin Sports, top quality apparel to make you look stylish and feel comfortable. See the whole apparel lineup at martinsports.gg. iRacing iFlag, get notifications fractions of a second faster without ever leaving your focus on your racing action. Visit iRacingIFlag.com for a full product line. Butt Kicker, get that ultimate feel from a race car with haptic response from the Butt Kicker. Visit their website at thebuttkicker.com to see a full product lineup of haptic products for your sim rig. Team Watson Racing Setups, get quality professional built setups for all your asphalt oval needs. Visit them at teamwatsonracing.com for pricing and packages. And lastly, the big sponsor tonight, you saw them 9 times, Roasted Jim's Coffee. Premium coffee beans roasted just for you. Starts your day the right way with coffee from Roasted Jim's Coffee. Visit them at their website, roastedgems.com, to get a taste. Apologize about my camera being a little fuzzy. I don't know why it's doing that. But either way, we'll get it fixed for Monday. You guys, as always, stay safe. Get your nerd on.